Science. It's the pursuit of truth and the frontier of human progress. But sometimes in the race for discovery, ethics take a back seat. From playing God with human genes to exploiting vulnerable populations, these experiments have left a permanent mark on history and sparked debates that rage to this day. Here are the most controversial science experiments in history. The last one will shock you. 1. The Manhattan Project, the dawn of nuclear power. In the early 1940s, the world was at war, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. The Manhattan Project brought together the greatest scientific minds, including J. Robert Oppenheimer, Enrico Fermi, and other notable scientists, to develop the first nuclear weapons.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. I suppose we all thought that, one way or another.
While the atomic bomb ended World War II, it also unleashed devastating consequences. The deaths of over 200,000 civilians in Japan, and the beginning of a nuclear arms race that still threatens humanity today. Was it a necessary evil or an irreversible Pandora's box? 2. The Tuskegee Syphilis Study, a dark chapter in medicine. From 1932 to 1972, the U.S. Public Health Service conducted a study on untreated syphilis in African American men in Tuskegee, Alabama. The participants, mostly poor farmers, were told they were receiving free health care, but in reality they were denied treatment, even after penicillin became available in the 1940s. This experiment led to unimaginable suffering and over 100 deaths. The Tuskegee study is now seen as a horrifying example of racism and ethics in science. It spurred significant reforms, including the creation of institutional review boards to oversee ethical research. 3. The Milgram Experiment, the shocking truth about obedience. In 1961, psychologist Stanley Milgram conducted a chilling experiment to study obedience to authority. Participants believed they were delivering painful electric shocks to a stranger whenever they answered a question incorrectly. Shockingly, 65% of participants continued to the highest voltage, 450 volts, even as the recipient screamed in pain or went silent. Milgram's work revealed the dark side of human nature, that ordinary people could commit atrocities under orders. But many condemned the study for causing severe emotional distress to participants. 4. The Stanford Prison Experiment, when roles become reality. In 1971, psychologist Philip Zimbardo turned a university basement into a makeshift prison. Volunteers were randomly assigned roles as guards or prisoners. Within days, guards became abusive and prisoners suffered breakdowns. Zimbardo himself, acting as the prison superintendent, allowed the experiment to spiral out of control. It had to be stopped after just 6 days. Zimbardo. It showed how quickly people internalize roles and lose their sense of morality. Critics, however, argue that Zimbardo manipulated events to fit his narrative, raising doubts about the experiment's scientific validity. 5. CRISPR. Gene editing, playing God with DNA. In 2012, scientists Jennifer Doudna and Emmanuel Charpentier developed CRISPR, a tool to edit DNA with unprecedented precision. The possibilities seemed endless, curing genetic diseases, eradicating cancer, even designing superhumans. But in 2018, Chinese scientist He Jiankui shocked the world by announcing the birth of twin girls whose DNA he had edited to make them immune to HIV. While CRISPR has the potential to revolutionize medicine, many fear it could lead to dangerous unintended consequences, like eugenics or genetic inequality. Science walks a fine line between discovery and destruction. These experiments remind us that while knowledge is power, power without ethics can lead to disaster. What do you think? Should science push boundaries, or should ethics always come first? Let us know in the comments. If you found this video thought-provoking, hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the fascinating and sometimes controversial world of science. Stay curious. See you next time.